This week on the Hooters Tour with Lee Moore and Kim Breel.
Coming up this half hour from the Elks Country Club in Portsmouth, Ohio, Hooter professionals go deep. A new course record is set, a couple of special player features, and again, a great finish on Sunday. All coming your way next.
Portsmouth, Ohio has been known for years as the floodwall city. In fact, there's a large wall that protects the community from the Ohio River. Actually, Portsmouth is located at the confluence of the Scioto and Ohio rivers. The Shawnee National Forest is the largest in the state with more than 60,000 acres. There's plenty of boating out there, hiking, biking, and camping facilities near the forest, and this is an outdoorsman's dream. Portsmouth is situated right next door to both Kentucky and West Virginia. It's just down the road from Columbus, Ohio, and Cincinnati is 2 hours away, and about the same for Lexington, Kentucky. The people of this community are friendly and hardworking. They take great pride in their fine schools and medical facilities. And how about some famous names from this area? From the world of country music, there's Earl Thomas Conley and the legendary King of Cowboys, Roy Rogers. And former major leaguers, Al Oliver and Larry Heisel called Portsmouth home. And for the past 4 years, the Elks Country Club has hosted the Hooters Pro Golf Tour. The Elks Club, one of the favorites of all the players. Donald Ross did a great job, and it has endured. Hello, everybody. I'm Lee Moore.
And I'm Kim Breel. Lee, you know it's great to be back in Portsmouth, Ohio once again. And if you remember last year, Vance Veazey won this tournament at 20 under par, and he birdied the last 6 holes to do that.
Well, you know, if old Vance had a good time birding the last 6 holes to go 20 under par, grab your hat, because we have a young man that was 22 under par as we headed to the last round of this tournament. So our storyline is here. They're shooting low numbers. It's hot, and the players are hot. We'll be right back.
Hey, want to spice up your wardrobe without spending a fortune? Hooters has just what you're looking for.
That's right. Just call 1-800-961-2231 and order some terrific Hooters merchandise.
Like shirts, hats, sweats, sunglasses, and more. Hey, are you a race fan?
Call 1-800-961-2231 for great Hooters racing apparel.
And to really make your life complete, there's the Hooters golf bag, umbrella, flying disc, even a subscription to Hooters magazine.
Call 1-800-961-2231 today.
If you take fresh eggs, cream, and right off the farm fresh vegetables, add pure vegetable oil, red wine vinegar, natural honey, herbs and spices, and maybe generous amounts of aged blue cheese in just the right portions, blended under refrigeration to the peak of perfection, you'd know why we call our products naturally fresh.
We blended nature's best naturally.
Great early week activities at Portsmouth, Ohio. One unique feature is that this week we had 30 amateurs and pros competing in our Tuesday shootout.
The Kroger Store Community Common Shootout is special in Portsmouth. Starting out, there are 3 10-man qualifiers, and that's going to produce 3 players for the finals. There's going to be 21 amateurs and 9 Hooters pros in this event. It comes down to Harold Wallace, Dennis Zincon, and Steve Ford. The threesome went to the 8th tee and played the par 5. The players all are going to birdie this hole, then there'll be a chip-off. Steve Ford of Melbourne, Florida was eliminated. That's going to send Harold and Dennis to the final hole, a short par 4. The flag's going to be back and both players will get it in there fairly close. Dennis is nearer. Harold's going to have the first putt. He's going to make 4, but that's not going to be good enough. Dennis Zincon's going to drain this birdie. He's going to collect the $500 first prize, while Harold gets $300 and Steve gets $2 from Kroger and the Community Common. The Davis Funeral Home Junior Clinic again is held at the driving range, and this is the time the players enjoy the most before the tournament. They work with the kids, and it's easy to tell there are some future stars in the Portsmouth area. Wednesday's Pro-Am produces some great scores over the Donald Ross layout. In the Pro Division, Harold Wallace, remember that name, is going to put a 7-under par 65 on the board. He'll win the $240 first prize. Corey Bowman and Walter Hall had 66s. The best team was the one that Corey captained and had members Rick Fannin, Greg Coker, Dave Eberts, and Frank Rosennacher. They scored a 17-under par for first place. The long drive competition was sponsored by Frank Teague, Oldsmobile and Cadillac, and 8 big hitters were out there. The winner, with a blast of 328 yards, is again that same old name, Harold Wallace. Second place goes to another man from the area, Randy Jewell. The charity this week for the second year is the Special Wish Foundation. Randy Roberts is the director.
What we do in simple terms is just grant wishes to children with life-threatening diseases. That's really it.
Another early week feature, an appearance by the Hooters NASCAR race car, Car 27, and it's shown by Doug Spees.
We get a great response. A lot of people don't get to see the car up close. A lot of people haven't seen a NASCAR car up close and personal, so it's kind of neat to see the reaction, especially the children. They have a good time with it.
The Elks Country Club layout measures just over 6,300 yards. Dick Cook is the general manager.
Here at the Elks Country Club, we have a typical Donald Ross layout. Normally, it plays around 6,400 yards. For this tournament, it will play around 6,900 yards. The course has small greens, tight pin settings, and the players normally would not want to miss the greens on the pin side. Players of this caliber probably this week will shoot in the neighborhood of 23 under. Our course record is 63, and I look for that to be matched or bettered this week.
When we come back on This Week on the Hooters Tour, we have a special feature about 2 of our players.
Yeah, 2 special guys, and I think that they're taking on the big odds and they're winning.
Talked to the doctor, he got my past history, and he looked at me and he shook his head and said, "Don't you go out on the golf course when it's lightning, because you've lived your 9 lives, partner." He said, "You don't got many left."
It floored me. I think I cried for the first time in 15 years coming home from the doctor's office. My wife, we were both just dumbfounded. We didn't know what to expect.
This week on the Hooters Tour is brought to you in part by Hooters Restaurants, delightfully tacky yet unrefined.
Todd Barringer and Joe McCormick, 2 names you haven't seen much of on the Hooters Tour this year. Here's why.
Joe McCormick and Todd Barringer are making comebacks. Sounds strange for guys still in their 20s, and even stranger to know that doctors told one he has cancer and the other learned just a few weeks ago that he could be suffering from a terminal illness. Todd, who played on the PGA Tour last year and before that on the Hooters Tour, is battling prostate cancer and it's put a lot of things, including golf, in perspective.
It made me realize that a 3-foot putt just doesn't mean that much anymore. I think that the mood swings and stuff that come along with golf when golf's your life every day, I think it'll take a little bit of a meaning off of that, where I'll realize that life's going to go on the next day, whether I make or miss that putt.
Just imagine, from a spot on the big tour, a first-round lead in a PGA Tour event in '94, and the third longest hitter in stats last year, to finding out that cancer is in your body.
It floored me. I think I cried for the first time in 15 years coming home from the doctor's office. My wife, we were both just dumbfounded. We didn't know what to expect. The first day we left his office, I had said to her that my golf career is done, just for the fact that you never know how serious an illness of cancer can be.
For Joe, the initials MS meant little until doctors said it was possible in his life. A life that almost saw him dead from a serious auto accident while he was still a teenager.
Talked to the doctor, he got my past history, and he looked at me and he shook his head and said, "Don't you go out on the golf course when it's lightning, because you've lived your 9 lives, partner." He said, "You don't got many left." And you know, that there's some truth to that. You know, I've had a lot of different types of health problems, and so, you know, sometimes we take our health for granted. You know, we do appreciate our health, but when it's taken away from you and you can't do the things you normally do, when it's difficult to get up every day just to take a shower, then you look at yourself and your health is pretty important.
Joe, who has played the Hooters Tour a couple of years and fared well in several Nike events, says that rude awakening left him wondering.
I believe that all of us in this world, God has a plan for all of us, and it makes you question what that is, what I was supposed to do. I question that, and every time I question it, my answer comes back to golf. So I keep pursuing this, but I think what I've had to learn to do is change my approach to the game. I was a very hard worker. I believe hard work is important, but when it becomes obsessive, I don't think it's healthy.
Now, both guys are back out here some 3 months later, and both, ironically, are getting more family-oriented. Todd and his wife are expecting a baby in December, and Joe is getting engaged in a couple of months. The players on the Hooters Tour really love this old Donald Ross layout, so they were eager to get out there on Thursday.
Thursday at Portsmouth, Ohio, and the Elks Country Club, and some shots making the headlines. We go first to the par 3 7th hole, where Sean McKeel of Collierville, Tennessee, hits this approach. McKeel fires a 5-under par 67, and he's in line at the top of the field. Mike Small of Danville, Illinois, on the par 4 18th hole. Small will get the short stick stroking this putt here for birdie on his way to a 6-under par 66. Bo Fennell, a lean golfer from Statesville, Georgia, gets a birdie 3 on number 18. Bo is enjoying a good start with his 5-under par round of 67. Harold Wallace of South Shore, Kentucky, makes our shot of the day film. Here on hole number 10, Harold drains this putt for a birdie 3. Wallace posts a 4-under par 68. Steve Navarro of West Covina, California, had to use his short game expertise on his way to a 4-under par 68. Here on the par 4 10th hole, Steve overshoots the green and makes this chip to save par. The top 6 names after 18 holes of play are Charlie Whittington and Tom Gillis in at 64. There are 4 guys tied at 65. They include David McCampbell, Rob Bolt, Steve Ford, and Spike McGroy. Charlie Whittington and Tom Gillis will share the Naturally Fresh Foods Low Round of the Day award with their 64s.
I hit just about every green and had a lot of opportunities at some birdies, and I made 6 birdies, and I dunked one on the 9th hole from the fairway for a 2, which was a nice way to end the day.
I just got off to a good start. Started birdie eagle, so that kind of set the tone for the day. Made some changes. I had to shallow out my downswing, and I started hitting the ball right where I wanted to, and made some putts, and that's pretty much how I shot 64.
Despite Mother Nature, the Hooters Tour professionals found ways to make shots of the day happen on Friday.
5 hours worth of delays, fog delays and rain that is. It's day 2 at the Elks Country Club. Andrew Morris of Needham, Mass. takes a swing at hole number 8. He's right there, and he's going to make our shot of the day. Jerry Wood of Richmond, Virginia, makes an eagle 3 here at the 8th hole, and he's right now at -9. Jerry's going to finish the day with a 64. Tom Shaw of Dallas follows a 71 with a 68, and he'll make the cut. Here he is at hole number 11. This chip's going to get close enough for his birdie 4. And finally, David McCampbell of Marshall, Indiana, is here at hole number 8. A refined short game's going to get David in the hole in 4 strokes for a birdie. He's on his way to a 69 and a 2-day total of 10 under par. Let's take a look now at our Big Hooters leaderboard after 36 holes. The leader, Mike Small of Danville, Illinois, and he's at 17 under par, remembering that just last year, 20 under par for 4 rounds won the tournament. Rob Bolt is 1 back, and then Charlie Whittington of Columbus, Georgia, is -14. Tom Gillis is 4 shots off the pace. The naturally fresh low round of the day goes to Small. So he gets it with an 11 under par, 61. That's a course record. Great going there, Mike.
That's my low score ever by a couple shots, so it was nice. Very, very satisfying. It was a lot of fun. I had good guys to play with, and everything went well.
Grab the pads and pencils and call Mom to the television because it's time to meet 5 more of the great young players on the Hooters Tour.
Hello, I'm Dennis Zenkon from Greenleaf, Florida, a member of the 1995 Hooters Tour.
Hi, my name is Brett Snortland from the Woodlands, Texas, and I'm a member of the 1995 Hooters Tour.
Hi, I'm David McCampbell from Marshall, Indiana, and I'm a member of the 1995 Hooters Golf Tour.
Hi, I'm Tom Shaw from Dallas, Texas, member of the 1995 Hooters Tour. I want to say hi to Sherry, Carla, Steve, Dayton, and Mom and Dad.
Hi, my name is Greg Parker. I'm from Plantation, Florida, and I'm a member of the 1995 Hooters Tour.
This week on the Hooters Tour is brought to you in part by Bud Light. Won't fill you up and never let you down. And by Naturally Fresh Foods. Preservative-free salad dressings, sauces, and dips.
Next is Lady. Exceptional sheen. Oh, very good color. Prince. Hands.
Oh, such stateliness, such majesty.
Harry. Larry.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
The best of show? More?
Hey, you! Why are you sitting at home watching Hooters sports on TV? Why aren't you at Hooters? If you were at Hooters right now, you could be enjoying Hooters' nearly world-famous chicken wings. And other great stuff served up by the Hooters girls. And watching Hooters sports at Hooters is a lot more fun than sitting there by yourself. See? Now get up off that couch and go to Hooters. Here, let me help you get started. You're not still sitting there, are you?
The 36-hole leaderboard had a familiar name, Mike Small, at 17 under par.
Yeah, familiar because he won earlier this year down in Dallas, Texas when the water was up real high. Remember that? But interestingly, 20 under won this tournament last year, getting tired almost of saying that, but Mike making birdies is making everybody else tired.
Play for round 3 got started a little later as round 2 play had to finish up in the early morning hours. The leaders after 36 holes were Mike Small of Danville, Illinois, Rob Bolt of Walnut Creek, California, and Charlie Whittington of Columbus, Georgia. This 3-dog race continued as the threesome watched each other all day. All 3 gained strokes on the par 5 second hole. Here Whittington gets in position and he'll make a birdie. Bolt will challenge with his 4, and Mike Small, after hitting this green in 2, makes an eagle 3, moving to 18 under par. Small increases his lead by 2 with a birdie on the par 3 fourth hole. By the 8th hole, Bolt swings into the front of the pack with an eagle, and he's at 20 under, one stroke ahead of Mike Small. Whittington still pressing on hole number 13. Charlie makes 2. He's at 17 under par. He'll make it 2 in a row with another birdie at 14. Mike Small also will post a 4 on 14, and he moves to 20 under par, while Rob Bolt takes it one deeper with his birdie, and he's at minus 21. These two guys will still fight to see who will take the lead into Sunday's final round. Mike Small birdies hole number 15, and Rob Bolt makes his birdie as well. And the final leaderboard goes something like this. Bolt on top at 22 under par. Mike Small will be a stroke back. Charlie Whittington will be paired with Little Rock, Arkansas's Jack O'Keefe, who fired a 65 to pick up a few shots on the field. Two other players to watch, Tom Gillis of Lake Orion, Michigan, and Brett Quigley of Barrington, Rhode Island, minus 16 and minus 15 respectively. The naturally fresh low round of the day is shared by two players shooting 65. They are Brett Quigley and Jack O'Keefe.
I had an eagle on number 8 to turn it 4 under, and then kind of slowed down a little bit, and then I knocked a 6-iron in the hole on number 16, and would have liked to have got it all by myself, but just tying for low round of the day is great. You know, anytime you can get a point and get a little money, that helps out a lot.
With the average age on the Hooters Tour being 27 or 28, it's very easy to spot Walter Hall, and he is our Jackaroo Player of the Week.
Walter Hall has had his sights set on a big goal for the past few years. He's 48 years young, has a strong game, and a very supportive family when it comes to his hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams of making a living someday on the Seniors Pro Golf Tour.
Well, actually, what I did before I ever turned pro, you know, my wife and my daughter, we sat down at the kitchen table and we talked about the pros and cons and the sacrifices that we'll all have to make. And I've been very fortunate. I've got a wonderful wife, Carol, and a daughter, Holly, that have just been, you know, more than understanding with this scenario of me traveling. You know, I played the Asian Tour for the last 2 years and away for 2.5 to 3 months, and it's tough because my wife moves into my role. She's mommy and daddy, actually.
But right now, this Winston-Salem resident is living with and battling kids half his age. And Walter is truly one of the boys, according to friend Gibby Gilbert Jr.
I'm probably the father image to them away from home, you might say. You know, we talk a lot with, you know, the things. I can see me 25 years ago. Every time you miss a shot, you get upset, go bananas. I try to be a little more understanding now, and I feel like I do a little better job now than I did 20-some-odd years ago.
And so, just who is this lean dude that always wears perfectly matched clothing and on most days looks and plays so cool?
Went to school at Maryland and then went into the Air Force, got married in '71, tried to play golf in '73 and '4. That didn't work out. Got a job, worked for 20 years as sales manager for a major appliance division. Played a lot of golf, you know, amateur tournaments, state tournaments, you know, smaller tournaments, and was relatively successful. You know, I've probably won quite a few tournaments over the years, but none of them with, you know, like the U.S. Amateur. I've won the Carolinas Mid-Am, for instance, back in the mid-'80s, and I've won several CGA events, but never like the U.S. Am. I played in one U.S. Am. I got beaten around a 16 at Chattanooga at the honors course.
Now, before you go worrying about Walter and his battle with the Flatbellies, take a note. A couple of weeks ago in Fayetteville, North Carolina, he was in a good position to win right up to the last day. And he was where he wanted to be, proving something.
Getting in the hunt, you know, getting in the, I guess, the moment of trying to compete for the championship rather than trying to compete for the cut, you know, you get all caught up in it sometimes. But my goal is to gain some experience, learn to save that shot here and there so that hopefully in about 20 months I'll have a chance to compete and qualify with the seniors.
Thanks to some great work on the part of our staff and the staff here at the golf course at the Elks, we had the course all ready for the final round on Sunday. It was exciting.
With 5 strokes separating third place from first, Rob Bolt was looking over his shoulder at the man from Danville, Illinois, who holds the competitive course record at the Elks Country Club with a 61. That man is Mike Small, who started the day one back at 21 under par. The birdies started falling on the par 5 second hole. First, Rob sinks his, moving to 23 under par. Mike gets his, and the score is still 1-up Rob Bolt. On the par 4 third hole, Mike will make a move. His birdie gets the match even, and all would be quiet until the 5th hole. Here at the 5th, it was a display of great iron shots. Small right on line, and yes, Rob Bolt is too. Bolt attacks the flag, and both players take it to 24 under par. Small takes a bogey 5 at the 10th hole, and for all intents and purposes, that was the turning point. Then on the next hole, Bolt makes birdie, getting him to 25 under and a 2-stroke lead over Small. Bolt didn't bring his A game, but seemed to get up and down in times of trouble.
Played really good the first 2 days, but we had to come back out in that rain delay, and I caddied 11 holes. I haven't carried my own bag in quite some time, I must say. And so he felt sorry for me and carried the second 18 that day, and he helped me a lot, especially today, because I wasn't on my game, but kept telling me to keep my head up and just get it up and down, because I didn't hit that many greens today, but we struggled through it.
Rob Bolt of Walnut Creek, California takes it home with a score of 26 under par. Small in second all alone. Brett Quigley fires a 7 under par 65 to take third. Nice round, Brett. While Tom Gillis and Jack O'Keefe share fourth. Rob McKelvey tied Brett for the Naturally Fresh Foods Low Round of the Day award.
Hit the ball extremely well today. Missed a few putts on the front, and I'm pleased with it. Played good all week, but 20 under wasn't good enough, and there's a lot of tough competition out here. But I'm pleased with the low round of the day and my results this week.
This week on the Hooters Tour is brought to you in part by Jackaroo Barbecue Sauce, a big taste from a big place.
My barbecue sauce has the big, bold taste that really makes barbecue taste great. Barbecue sauce.
That's not barbecue sauce. This is barbecue sauce.
Jackaroo Barbecue Sauce. Big taste from a big place.
As we say goodbye today from Portsmouth, Ohio, we want you to check out the Naturally Fresh Points Championship race and see who's leading on the money board. I bet it's Jack O'Keefe. He has such a good lead. But Kim and I have enjoyed being with you this week. Thanks for joining us on This Week on the Hooters Tour.
And if you would like to try one of the great products from Naturally Fresh Foods, call 1-800-GIFT-PACK.